based on more than 20 older source maps. And he suggests that those older maps were associated in some way with Alexander the Great. The implication is that they may have come out of the lost library of Alexandria, which was a treasure house of ancient wisdom until it was destroyed. It's his reliance. There's the Bimini Road. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to dive. I've done a lot of diving, but that's a very unchallenging dive because it's only about 20 feet deep and there's lovely warm water. And at the bottom of it, you have this anomaly, which again, archaeologists, because they don't like the idea that our ancestors were creating something like this during the Ice Age, they say, oh, it's entirely natural. That's not the Bimini Road that we're looking at there, whatever that is. But the Bimini Road is these huge pillow-shaped megalithic slabs. Yeah. That's the Bimini Road. And archaeologists want it to be natural and say that it's just naturally formed beach rock. But I've seen beach rock all over the world, above and underwater, and none of it looks like this. And I took along as a diving buddy Michael Haley, who's a marine biologist who's done even more diving than I have around the world. And he also agreed that he's never seen anything like this. And furthermore, we found that these blocks are propped up on little stones in some cases, though they were using the stones to level the feature out where there was a slope underneath. So I'm confident it's man-made, but whether or not it's man-made, the fact that it appears on that map drawn in 1513 based on maps that came from the Library of Alexandria raises huge other questions. And the Pinkerton map, it's worth making a point about that, the Pinkerton world map, because let's find the bit that shows the southern hemisphere and shows us, keep going down. We want to see the view from the southern hemisphere. There it is. There it is. This is the Pinkerton world map. And I believe it was drawn in around 1813. And in this case, it did not rely on ancient source maps. It was because by 1813 there was a lot of navigation and we had explored most of the world. So this map was based on the latest navigational and exploration knowledge in 2013. But obviously, if you look at it, something big is missing from the picture. And that big something that's missing from the picture is Antarctica. It's not there. And the reason it's not there is because this was an honest map. It was based on what they knew in 1813. So the weird point is that Antarctica then does appear. It does appear on much older maps. If you search Orontius Phineus world map, for example, Orontaeus, and Phineus, Finnaeus, Orontius Phineus world map.
Can I spell it?
That'll probably find it. That'll probably find it. And go to the second row, shift over to the right, third from the right. There, at the tip of South America and at the tip of South Africa is Antarctica.
Yeah.
And that's on a map drawn in 1534 by Orontius Phineus, 300 years before the Pinkerton map didn't know that Antarctica was there. And how does he know it's there? Because it's based on older source maps, now lost. Even the Piri Reis map is only a fragment. The rest of that map is lost as well. We only got a little bit of the Piri Reis map. So maps get lost all the time, but what the Orontius Phineus map is preserving is knowledge of the world during the Ice Age. Somebody was exploring the Earth and mapping the Earth during the Ice Age. That's a bigger Antarctica than it is today. It's much closer to South America and its coastlines because that's how it was during the Ice Age. It was a much bigger continent than it is today.
Isn't there a theory though, and I'm pretty sure you said this already, that the middle of it isn't explored? I mean, is it the middle of Antarctica? Like, no one's ever actually went there to actually like
really. There's absolutely minimum exploration of Antarctica. There is some what they call core drilling.
Yeah.
Where drills are put down and bring up ice cores, and a lot of the ice cores do date back millions of years, but they haven't explored. They haven't ice cored the whole of the Antarctica. And there's so much there that the possibility of something else being found needs to be taken into account. There was a theory which I explored in my first book that looked into the lost civilization mystery, a theory called Earth crust displacement. And in Fingerprints of the Gods, published in 1995, I investigated that theory. And what that theory suggests is that the crust of the Earth can sometimes move around the inner air layers of the Earth rather like a comparison would be an orange with a loose skin. So the fruit of the orange stays in one place, but the skin moves around it. That would, and the argument was that. One of those took place very, very near to Göbekli Tepe at a site in Syria called Abu Huraira. There was an airburst over Abu Huraira 12,800 years ago. And in every case, what do they leave on the ground?
Right, so this is my first game of Warzone 2.